Deciding what your favourite game is can be an impossible task for some people. I personally have switched between two games over the years, Tombi and Tombi 2. They're both fantastic, amazing games, but I put a lot of personal nostalgia onto deciding a favourite, making my opinion horrifically biased. Oh man, it still hurts my soul to look at this. I blame Neil Buchanan, because I learnt this technique for drawing by watching Art Attack. You'd colour a piece of paper with a crayon, place the paper face down onto a blank piece, and trace an image over the top, leaving an outline of the image to help you draw it. And 10-year-old me wanted to draw a picture of Tombi. Believe me, there was instant regret. I even thought about replacing it with a better conditioned version, but holy mother of fuck! Hello kids, it's Helispookter and welcome back. So I got a little bit brace facey since the last time you saw me. Man, I've been going back and forward between these two games for years, and it's kind of left me in a dilemma. Like, I always favoured the first one more than the second because it was the first game in the series that I played, and to think otherwise would be a betrayal to its memory. That, and it's probably the rarest game I own. Savvy child me saw this at a car boot sale for £9, and I invested my pocket money wisely. I'd played an ungodly amount of the demo, and I'd already played the sequel too, so it seemed like a natural investment. I think I was on a Welsh caravan holiday in Rhyl. On a side note, does anyone else remember that PS1 demo disc? It had Tombi, Cooler World, Buster Groove, Tekken 3, Spyro 1, Medieval. Absolute bangers. Tombi released in Europe back in August 1998, published by Sony Computer Entertainment Europe and developed by Whoopee Camp, who were known for developing Tombi and Tombi 2. The creator of Whoopee Camp and director of the game, Takeru Fujiwara, is quite the well-known fellow though, playing a part in many of the big Capcom games such as Ghosts and Goblins, Sweet Home, Mega Man and Resident Evil. The game was considered a critical success but not a commercial one. It's led to the game having a cult following, and how prices on eBay for a physical copy are disgustingly high. Although in 2012 it was released to the PlayStation Network for the PlayStation 3 for a beautifully affordable price. I don't actually have a PS3, so we're going old school today and we're playing the physical copy on the PS2. Although I refer to the game as Tombi, I should know everywhere else in the world knows this game as Tomba, and I literally have zero bloody ideas why. Actually, I just googled it. Tomba is Italian for grave. Huh, fair enough. Did go ages pronouncing the game to me until I heard it said out loud. The opening is this really cool animated cutscene rather than the traditional FMV cutscene that was popular with a lot of PlayStation 1 games. It plays out the setup for the game with no words, only actions. And the setup is really simple. Tombi is out hunting, clocks some tasty looking pigs, attacks them but gets knocked out. When he comes to, he discovers the pigs have taken the gold bracelet he was wearing, so we're off to get it back. Nothing complicated or thought-provoking, and the stakes are very personal to Tombi, which may or may not be to the game's detriment. The first area we visit is the Village of All Beginnings, and I must admit, this place contains one of my favourite pieces of music from a video game, like ever. Absolute anthem. I really enjoy the game's initial pacing too. It's absolutely a tutorial section, but doesn't do too much in the way of hand holding, apart from swinging from the branches, which is really heavily explained for some reason. It introduces you to the basic structure and mechanics, which the entire game is built upon very organically. We reach the edge of the village to see we can't progress any further due to the dense fog and need a way to clear it. If we travel back to the level in the background, not the foreground, then we come across a tornado which we can magically and fantastically carry on our person. Then we use this item at the fog to clear it. The whole game is very open with its mission-based structure. The missions are known as events, and we use items or complete tasks to clear the events. The game has 130 events to complete in all, ranging from simple missions like taking a frog back to its home, to the more elaborate events which require you to complete other events to set them up. The platforming is extremely interesting as we travel left and right in a 2D plane, but are able to, at certain locations in a level, jump into the background and foreground, giving a pseudo 3D feeling known as 2.5D. Klonoa is probably the closest games in terms of an example. It gives the game a really unique feel, not only just in a gameplay sense, but also visually. Like, if you play this game, you will remember it. The graphics are really quirky and colourful, the soundtrack is catchy, the gameplay is like nothing you have ever played, which makes it even harder to explain. Like, there is nothing like Tombi apart from Tombi 2. Like, it is an incredibly unique beast. And as we travel further, we learn that those pigs are a part of an army of evil pigs that have cursed the land. Trying to explain Tombi but sounding like a lunatic? Part 1. So these evil pigs are taking over the world because they're evil. I think that's their only motive. But they need power, and they get power from gold, so if Tombi beats them, then he gets his gold bracelet back. But the 7 main evil pigs need a special item to defeat them. Oh right, like a special sword or a stake. No. A bag. A bag. We need the bag to find the lair, then we put the pig in the bag, lifts the curse. Fuck has my life become? Yeah, this game is pretty fucking weird. I wish I had the kind of imagination to come up with batshit stuff, like a wine-producing town run by humans cursed to look like mice, whatever the fuck these are, and the entirety of the mushroom forest. Trying to explain Tombi but sounding like a lunatic, part 2. Right, so there's a forest full of red flowers. Okay, sounds normal. Sentient flowers. With faces. And mushrooms everywhere. And if you eat them, you either get stuck laughing or crying, and then the sentient flowers get stuck either laughing or crying too. Sounds like you had a weird dream and thought it was real. The mushroom forest is probably my least favourite area in the game. The easiest way to navigate this is if you manage to stay in your normal state, but that is almost fucking impossible. If you get stuck in the laughing or crying state, then Tombi will either laugh or cry spontaneously with no input from the player. Laughing isn't so bad as he stops in place, but crying makes him run uncontrollably for a second, which can lead to some annoying moments. Plus, in these states, Tombi can't use his weapon. His weapons aren't all that effective, but are good at subduing or knocking enemies back, and when you don't have access to them, you're really missing. Luckily, these states are cured by consuming a normal mushroom, but finding this involves platforming around the area, which can go fuck itself. The platforms are quite narrow, the enemies are aggressive, and when you get hit, Tombi gets knocked back, and the whole foreground area is suspended over a bottomless pit, so I found myself dying quite a few times. Platforming in general can be quite nerve-wracking. While it functions perfectly well, there are occasions such as precise platforming sections that you wish it were tighter. Tombi's movement in the air mid-jump can feel a little floaty, leading to some missed landings. It feels a little heavy too and falls really quickly, adding to this sometimes unnerving experience. There's a couple of areas like this, the lava caves particularly, and to some extent the Masakari jungle and Phoenix Mountain while cursed. But the game gives you ample lives, it's never too stressful. No other area is as annoying as the mushroom forest, so if you can put up with that, then the rest of the game is a breeze. Another bit of frustration I felt was from the Haunted Mansion area. Not from platforming challenges, but from a navigation standpoint. It has 4 sides to explore, north, south, east and west, each with multiple levels of foreground and background. The south side here has 4 levels to it, and not a lot of indication of what's inside each room. If you're looking for a specific room, it can be many tedious minutes before you find the room you're looking for. A lot of travelling between areas can be confusing too, as there isn't much logic as to how they're all connected. Take the base to Phoenix Mountain. Through this way is the Mushroom Forest, but this way is down to Bacchus Village, the Mouse People village, but with very little indication. I have a terrible memory, and an awful sense of direction, so I get confused like really easy. When I was a kid, I even tried to draw a map of the game, but when all the connections between the areas got too confusing, I just gave up. Oh, and the game does have its own map screen, but I never really found it all that useful. You can use an item called Charity Wings, which is a consumable item that lets you travel to any save spot that you visited, and they're in all the major locations, so it's the best way to travel. Top tip, for Tombi 1 and Tombi 2 actually, get Baron. As soon as you have access to getting him, get him, because he is essentially infinite Charity Wings. He's like Dumbo because his ears are so big he can fly. I'm always using Baron. Sorry, I used the Baron. But all in all, the areas are fun and memorable, as well as the events to complete in each area. One of my favourite events involves finding the dwarves hidden around the dwarf forest. This one was part of the demo, so I've got some nostalgia attached to it. Just a teeny little bit, just a wee bit. But in all seriousness, it helps out a lot with learning the area as you scour high and low rescuing the dwarves. Then when they all return, they give you a big cheer and it's adorable! I also love finding and meeting the 100, 1,000, 10,000 and million-year-old wise men. They all give you keys for specifically designed treasure chests that you can find throughout the world, and it's always exciting going back to an earlier point to open a previously inaccessible chest. Also, how the fuck do you live to be 1,000,000 years old? Is it exactly 1,000,000 or is it like 1,042,000? And anything with Charles the Monkey is funny too. You scratch his back, he'll scratch yours. Give him food, drink and his pants back, and he teaches you to dash, which makes Tombi run faster and jump higher, and how to swim, as well as gifting you his funky parasol to slow your descent when jumping. And that peach tree is bloody hilarious. Trying to explain Tombi but sounding like a lunatic. Part 3. So there are these plants that look like bums, and if you jump on them, they fart. But even good games have their stinker moments. Majora's Mask has Great Bay Temple, Spyro 3 has the Yeti boxing match, and Tombi has the motocross event. So the goal of this event is to reach the end of the motocross track in under a certain amount of time. You can't steer because of the 2D plane, but you can pick your route and jump to avoid obstacles, and is the very definition of tragic. You really have little input in the race. It's pretty much choosing when is the best time to jump and when to just hold right. And the jumping feels so unresponsive, so the timing ends up being slightly off. And the record is so freaking hard to do, and it will take many tries to get it right. Which might be alright if you just start the race again straight away, but no. You've got to exit the area and come back through it through the village of all beginnings, select the power fuel from your inventory to blow up this stupid whoopee cushion thing, and listen to this guy again, and then you can try the race. And it's annoyingly 3 events in one, as you clear events for getting bronze, silver and gold medals. I mean, you'll probably get all 3 just from repeating the race over and over again to get the gold, but purposely falling within a time frame to get the silver and bronze could get tricky if you miss them. It was quite annoying grinding enemies to max out the green and blue bars to get the water and wind jewels. Halfway through grinding needle gators for the blue bar, I dropped the tele remote on the PS2, knocking the disc out the spinny bit and making the game crash. And of course I hadn't saved for about half an hour and had to start again. Every other event never overly frustrated me, but I can see this being a different case for people who haven't played the game before, as a lot of times you could be stuck on where to find the specific thing you're looking for next. It can be a where the fuck do I go kind of game. Sometimes events can be a little cryptic, like having to talk to someone twice to trigger the event, item or clue. Such as in the underground maze, where this digger talks about how your lockpick wire is broken and it's a shame. But if you talk to him again, he'll tell you about an unbreakable wire and where to find it, which triggers the event. Like, why not just say this all at once or something? I wandered around for a bit before stumbling on him again and accidentally triggered it. By triggering and completing events, Tombi collects points known as AP, Adventurer Points for short. They in turn unlock AP boxes for extra items and level up Tombi. Well, I think that's what they do. I'm not entirely sure what dictates Tombi's level, or if it really changes Tombi's stats or abilities at all. But yeah, cool, we can add RPG elements to the list of genres that Tombi is showcasing. I don't even know what genre you would class this as. Adventure, platformer, 2D, 3D, RPG, pig destroying simulator. Tombi progresses in other ways too, given a feeling of growth. Your max health increases gradually, you learn new abilities, get more powerful weapons, and clothes that add effects to Tombi as well, like making him run faster. It all happens organically, like finding the next item is going to be helpful for the next area, but it sometimes makes older items obsolete. Like when you get the grapple jack, this is pretty much all you're going to need from here on out, as it combines 2 weapons that you'll be naturally switching between quite a lot anyway. So going to go into some story spoilers now, if anyone cares about story from a 20-year-old game, and here's a timestamp because I'm considerate. So through our journey we have discovered and defeated 7 evil pigs named after colours. Blue evil pig and navy blue evil pig. Did they really run out of colours? And restore the cursed areas back to their original state. On discovering the underground maze, we also find a small strange room, no, that's really what it's called, and statues of each evil pig we defeated stand on pedestals. An unknown voice emerges from a previously hidden pig gate, summoning the statues away. We have the final evil pig bag for the real evil pig, but need to find 7 friends to stand on the pedestals to take the place of the absent statues and weigh them down again to open the gate. We find 6 friends, but struggle to find the 7th. That's when trusty the Baron takes 7th place. Not sure why the million-year-old man or any of the diggers in the underground maze couldn't have done this, but yeah, whatever. We fight the real evil pig, which plays exactly the same as the other evil pigs, except when he attacks you, you can't move, which literally changes nothing. We beat him, get our bracelet back, talk to the wise men, and go home. But stupid prick Tombi's just left the bracelet there. After all that, you daft bastard! Nice and simple, and I do enjoy saving the world and all, but this is only really about Tombi wanting his bracelet back at the end of the day. Yeah, he's a good guy for saving everyone, but you don't have to complete all the events. That's up to the player. Everything on optional is all in the pursuit of Tombi getting his precious item back, and saving the world is just an added bonus that he had to do in order to complete his own quest. Although I do enjoy that the very first event that you find is the very last one to be completed. The boss battles are insultingly easy and all function exactly the same. The layers layouts for each pig change to represent the element, but to defeat them it's just a case of grabbing them and timing your throw right to put them into their bag. And you only have to land them in the bag once and that's the fight over. This fight here took me only about 4 seconds. And I find the evil pigs are really interchangeable in my memory too, like I struggle to remember which evil pig controls which element. Why is the fire pig green? Why is the water pig yellow? Why are there 2 blue pigs? But I do love the theme music for the pig battles. It's an absolute tune. In fact, I love most of the music in the game, barring Bacchus Village. Don't know why, but that goes right through me for some reason. Shit bosses aside, this really is a fun game. The quirky art style and unique gameplay have really held up over the years, and it truly is worth any PlayStation fan's time. It's not a massively long game, it took me just under 6 hours to complete 100%. And can we all just appreciate this is the first time I've 100% at this game? Stupid missable events. Not sure why after completing this game though it's saying game over. That's a really concerning screen to look at as a gamer. I'm unsure why this wasn't such a big selling game. I knew a lot of people who played the demo and loved it, but no one who actually bought it. Looking back, maybe the demo was too big? When I replayed this for the review, I made a mental note on how long it took me to get to the point where the demo ended, and knowing exactly where to go and what to do, it still took me about an hour maybe. So imagine being 8 or 9, it's your first time through the demo, it's gonna take a lot longer than that. And when I was that age, I just kept wanting to go back to it over and over, discovering more and more, wanting to know all its secrets. And there were indeed plenty to discover in the demo. I think without going for 100%, you could probably get through this game in maybe 4 hours. And if the demo's taken an hour, that's a good proportion of the game right there. Let's show this game some love. If you can get access to it, it's definitely a must play, and I'm saying this completely unbiasedly now. Whoopee Camp games are like nothing you ever played in your life, and it really is a tragedy that we didn't get more of them. So let's just appreciate what we do have. But back to my original dilemma. Which one of these 2 games is my favourite? Well, we left on a high with the first game, so can the second game make a better impression, or is this peak Tombi? Please join me next time when we look at its sequel, Tombi 2. Oh man, she made another video! Thank you so much for watching. You've made it to the end of the video, and that is just amazingly insane. I cannot thank you enough. Please consider subscribing and liking and sharing with everyone. I have Twitter. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All links down below in the description. I'll see you next time for Tombi 2. Bye guys, much love. Mwah.